A very good Sunday afternoon, my people. And look outside, it's gorgeous. So let's start with our part one. That's our deep breathing exercise. And this is based on Taoist longevity exercise. Your legs shoulder width. Naturally bend your knee. Put your arms up. Remember what we said. It's like you are holding a tree. Close your eyes. When you close your eyes, what are you doing? You are relaxing your liver, yeah? And we'll do 10 times. Breathe in as deep as we can through our nose, out through our mouth. But now we're moving to the second phase of this breathing exercise. I want you to feel the little energy vectors throughout your body, right? And I want you to feel they're open like flowers and close off and open. And you don't really need to do anything. Just let your body do the work, okay? And you just do the breathing. Now we will start with our part two. That's our 10 energy movements. 10 energy movements. Last time we taught you how to do this at more advanced number one, right? So today we'll do the more advanced number one, and then we'll go back to our basic number 2 and 3 and 4. And then each time I'll show you one more. Shoulder width. We're putting the yin energy and yang energy together. From dantian, bring it up. Slowly. Turn, push it up. Look up. Look forward. Leave it up. Leave it up. Your hands. Look at my hands. And if it's not anything else, you remember, at least you remember we are exercising. The first one is really focused on our fascia system. And also our triple burner that will help to move our lymph. And then also if people have frequent urination, hemorrhoids, and if you're pregnant or wanting to get pregnant, to create or to strengthen your 中气, we call their energy, and this is a good movement to do. Now today we're going to explain this movement. Now just follow me. Now the third movement. One hand touch the sky, the other one the earth. Remember this movement? We're balancing our 7 motions and also our neck health, upper spine health, and our intestinal health. Now we're balancing our heart fire. Strengthen our spine health. Strengthen our tendon. Our liver health. Now our kidney health. Now the next two is really I put Yi Jin Jin and this together to create 10, right? And then this is really to strengthen out your tendon and open up the whole Du and Ren and all the meridian lines. Now the last one. Okay, good. I'll get some water. We'll all drink some water. So now we're going to focus on the second movement of this originally 8 movements. Like I said last time, I want to eventually teach 4 basic things. That is 8 simple energy movements. It's called 八段锦. That really is help to strengthen your fascia system and the whole body system. And then I'll teach you 五禽戏, the 5 animal movements. And then that will help to reduce stagnation and inflammation. And then the 八段锦 is really do it all. The 10 energy movements is to touch base of all this as the foundation, right? And then the 5 energy movements, and then 六字真言 through chanting that we strengthen, we massage our organs. And then 易筋经 is we strengthen out the tendon and all those little, the end blood vessels and the end central nervous system. So then eventually after a couple of years, and you all will be very pro. But now we'll teach you the second movements of the first, the 8, and we call that 10 energy because I put 易筋经, the strengthening of tendon, and 八段锦, the 8 movements together, right? So the second one, the first one we learned last month. And so I will encourage you to watch our last video to review that. And today we'll move to the second one. The second one really is that the first is when you do a movement like this, you put your hands before you make the hand posture, you put your hands like this. And this is a self-defense point, right? And then from here, and then you see this one, this hand is, we call that draw. Draw is like a tiger, right? And then that is the tiger represent, we say 青龙白虎, right? 白虎 is the fall that represent the lungs and colon, the lungs and colon health. So this one, this hand has to be, if you measure that, how you move your shoulder, right? This point right in here is the beginning. It's very important meridian line points to strengthen your lungs, to help with the lungs. So this hand is to protect 云门中府, that is the name of the meridian line. And also this should always be protected, because when your enemy hits you, right, when they try to get here, if they point right here, then you're in trouble, right? So then you use a tiger claw to protect them, right? And then this hand, you see the second finger, this one has to bend as back as you can, right? Because by doing that, I am strengthening my colon, right? And this is a very important point right here. It's called Shangyang. So your eyes has to focus on your Shangyang, because at this point, the energy, right? Think about, you are in the battlefield, you protect yourself and you point out, and that is the energy. That's where your eyes is focused on Shangyang, focus on this point. But we are not at the war. Well, we are not at war. And we protect ourselves by doing that. We are saying, movement, please, colon, right? We're moving our colon. And by doing that, we open up our lungs. When we open up our lungs, we also open up we're moving our sanjiao, the upper jaw, right? And this is when we talk about sanjiao, we have to mention the fascia system and also the lymph. So the three parts of the lymph, this part is important. You have mother lymph, this part you have mother lymph, and this part you have mother lymph, right? So by doing this point, we are opening up, we're moving the mother lymph, we're moving the mother lymph, we're opening up, we're protecting, open up the lungs, we are open up the colon. So, and then when you are at office, if you are tired, right, and you can just sit there and simply do this movement a little bit at your desk, right? Because that, well, you see, now we know what we're doing. And then by moving your head, right, by moving your head, you are moving your da zhui, that's your spine. Spine, that's your du meridian line, that's the governing line. It's very, very important, right? Now we know we are strengthening our heart, our lungs, our upper fascia system. We are moving, cleaning up the lymph as well. So in one movement. So one movement. And then always our system, you have yin and you must have yang, right? So now look at my legs. So you see, and I am doing, you try to get your toes face forward, right? And then you are, by doing that, you are moving your anal part, that you are giving a massage to your colon. And also by doing that, you are exercising your lower jiao, your lower fascia system. And remember here, you have the third part, a lot of lymph are here. You are moving that as well. So let's put it together. Now, 中府云门, right? Protect this point. Your energy focus on your Shangyang. This is your Shangyang. And meanwhile, you open up the whole upper fascia system, move your lymph, strengthen your spine, and get your lower lymph going as well. Excellent, good. Once more. And if people have loose stool, constipation, bloating, make sure that you do this movement too. Good. Now, this is the second movement. It's more advanced form. So I will leave a couple minutes for question and see if you have any question about the second movements before we move to give you a little bit of the regenerative herbal farming.
Thank you, Dr. Liu. Actually, there's no questions at this time. It's pretty
Okay.
clear, really, the attention to the legs and the attention to where the focus should be with the movements is very clear and very helpful. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay. So do you get some of the photos ready, Sarah? Can we move to our...
Yep, I do have some photos ready. I'm so sorry. They might be a little bit out of sequence, but they are ready for you.
Okay, excellent. So over the times, I have a lot of people, they ask me, well, where are your ingredients come from? And how do you do farming and this question? So I thought it's a good idea to take you with me. I like to say, come fly away with me. And to take you with me to one of our many herbal, regenerative, organic herbal farms that I can show you what the steps. So unfortunately, some of the videos are not available. We're still trying to figure out the technical things. But you all know I was in Costa Rica for 2 weeks, and one of our regenerative herbal farms is in Costa Rica. So I would like to show you, Sarah, show me what you got. So I will just go through the sequence that what you have.
You got it. Okay, here we go.
So, okay, so this is how I did my, energy movements, and I had a whole bunch of students, and they were willing to do it with me. But look at the sky, and look at the ocean, and look at the Buddha. And you can't beat this, right? Every morning, and we did our 10 energy movements together. And yeah, so, but look at the view. And I was thinking maybe eventually we will do some spiritual tour or spiritual kind of trip with our people. I can show you the beautiful view and beautiful ocean. You can't beat that. Okay. Because a part of the trip, yeah, okay, so I am doing this one. As you can see, this is what the correct way to do that. You see, I protect my 中府云门, and I look at the focus on Shangyang. So this is from the behind, and because my students are all behind me, and this is how you should do that. This is okay.
Actually, Dr. Liu, now that I see that photo of you, I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
And not to be really, really technical, but there are times where you use the index, and you just explained that that is related to colon health. Have you ever used both index and middle finger to sort of put that out?
Yes, that is to focus on different type of health, right? And if I want to focus on my colon health and my lungs, and then I use, oh, look at that, look at that. Nobody can really have a better kind of sunset like in Costa Rica. I really, really love sunset is every night is different, and we meditate, or I rather meditated with the Buddha, and this is a Buddha of healing. And that just gives us a very, it's really regenerative. There's no other words for it. So when we use fingers like this, I am more strengthening my fascia system. When I use this, I focus on my colon, right? So it depends on what you want to focus on. And this is my lunch there. As some of you followed me on social media, you know where I got my fish. I go and sail in to ocean and get a fisherman and to buy directly from them. And there we go. You see, you cannot get fresher than this. Okay, so this is something that is quite if you are in the area of Uvita, and they have this restaurant, and this woman, she is not a trained chef, but she really is talented to put her meals together. And she has only 6 or 7 tables every evening, and gotta really try to kind of find your way, drive up the mountain. She lives on the top of the mountain, and it just this is her kitchen, and I just love her food. Her mother is a local healer, and she has a lot of good formulas for sunburn and things like that. So I will give out the information next time, whoever in there, and this is a part of my morning routine, of course, and they have really, really good fruits. Their pineapples and papayas are just best in the world. Well, with me I can't help but to show you the food, right? Because, yeah, okay. So now this is a part of our farm. This is ginger. So we have this terrific harvest of ginger each year. And one thing I really want to just kind of share with you is that herbal farming, regenerative farming, really is, we focus on the health of the soil, right? The health of the soil. Think about the soil that really is, it is our gut system, right? It's literally is that long tube from, like we said, and in human health, it is very important, because from the moment you chew to the moment you poo, and that's the whole gut system. So what is the gut system of the earth? That's the soil, right? That's why it is so important to take care of the health of the soil. So I think the core of regenerative farming, which we have been doing this is not new, right? And this is during the centuries in Taoism, in Buddhism, and in the traditional Chinese herbal farming, we have always done this regenerative way. That means you gotta take good care of your soil. You gotta really balance the pH. You gotta really use the worms. You gotta really figure out whatever the way you can to keep the soil with the optimum health, right? If you have healthy soil, then you will have healthy and happy ingredients that will grow the product that will grow out of the soil. So that really is that when people ask, Dr. Lu, where do you get your ingredient? My ingredients are from different farms, but almost all the farms that use this method. This is the traditional method, which is getting very popular in the West as well. So, Okay, we're going back to food. So this is this woman, she has this fresh coconut from the coconut tree, right? And right there, and we pick the coconut and open it up, and she makes her own coconut ice cream. It was really delicious. I, don't normally eat ice cream, but her ice cream I'll eat anytime. It's really, really good. So I don't know, Sarah, if you have anything that you can show them a little bit about our seed bank, or any videos or no videos. Look, this is her soup. And this is a soup that made, this is a papaya soup. It's really very good.
Dr. Liu, unfortunately, all the videos, although I tried to compress them, actually, just due to the size, I am not able to share them.
Okay.
What I have is remaining is actually just more photos that you sent. So I can go through that if you want to continue sort of sharing a bit more about the cuisine and some of the things that you experienced.
Okay, so do we have any kind of herbal farms that I can show them? And I am tempted to show you one of the videos of from my hands, and but I don't know if people can watch it. Why don't we try that? Because I think this is really cool for you to see. For you to see this. Let's see if I have. This is our seed bank. Oh. Okay, so maybe what we will do is that we will make an attempt to show you more of the herbal farm next time when we figure out how to load up the videos. But one thing I do want to share with you is the how much details we put in from how to from the greenhouse to put the little plants into the soil, to how to watch it grow, and the harvest. So this is a long process. And one thing I did want to show you, which later on we may, maybe next time I'll show you how we have our own seed bank, right? You grow your own seeds and then you find the best seeds. We also, now we begin to collect those seeds, and that is for our next year's farming. And then also I want to show you how to separate the regular root from mother root, because mother root, again, that is for next year's farming. And from that, and the process of how to wash the herbs, how to plant, how to take care of, and how to harvest, and how to wash the herbs, how to slice them, and how to sterilize them, and how to dry them. And then after you dry, then you have your ingredient, right? You have, do we have the turmeric or ginger? We can show people a little bit, Sarah. Do we have that?
Actually, Dr. Liu, hold that thought. I have some good news. I think I've been able to, one of them looks like it's loaded. So let me see.
Okay.
Get that going for you.
Okay. Yeah. This is our seed bank. Do you see how you squeeze this? And then this is opens up and you have those beautiful little seeds that comes out of it.
This is ashwagandha.
This is ashwagandha.
This part here.
You see, this is, I just give you a little idea. This is how we seed, we have our own seed bank, right? So this is only the herbal growing part. But this is what we think about. We have 67 different ingredients. We have different farms. They use similar method, and they grow herbs for us. And after we dry the herbs, and then we send to the next step is all the ingredients are there. Then I use the formulas we have been using for centuries and really transform them into modern use. And each formula can be served as a base formula. When the formula need to change, let's say formula A and formula C can create a new formula. So once you have 57 basic formulas, you have endless possibilities. And each formula that can focus on one thing or multiple things, if we put different formulas together. And think about our little, the wellness broth. Think about each ingredient, how much work we put into, because from seed bank to a dried herb to how to create a formula and test it out, right? Have the historical validity and also have the current testing, and then to have another group of people who really knows how to grind the herbs, because I use no floating agent, right? My floating agent is also their shanyao, their herbs, right? I use poria, and I may take you next time to a poria farm to see how we do regeneratively a poria, that's a mushroom, and use that as a floating agent. And the jar you have is 100%, everything is organic, everything is done in those kind of regenerative farms. And then I think you will have a better connection between the herbs I want you to take and soil and yourself. So that really is why we take this journey together. And hopefully each time I can show you a little bit more about what I mean by, oh, what I mean by mother root, what I mean by this, what I mean by that. So I think that instead of showing you once, yep, okay, so. And this is ginger, right? Very pungent. This is when you look at your jars, and one is that we have fermented ginger after we dry them like this, and then we ferment them. And then that is one of our ingredients. I have to dress like that because everything has to be without any germs there. So I will leave time for questions today, and ask me anything, and we will kind of show you more photos by answering those questions. But today our focus really is regenerative farming, herbal ingredients, how to put it together, and then from the field to your hand.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. Actually, I have one more video I'm hoping you can talk to us about, and I am just in the process of getting it loaded. If you give me one moment.
Sure thing.
Sorry about that, Dr. Liu. Let me try just one last moment.
No worries, Sarah. And I think our people are all patiently waiting. Either we have the video now or we have it the next time. It really doesn't matter that much. And we can also go cheaper and having it. So.
Okay, sorry about that. I can't. I think it's just not going to play for us.
Okay.
But I would love to share a few more photos if you don't mind.
Okay, let's do it.
Actually, while I get those loaded, Dr. Liu, maybe you could talk to us a little bit about the difference between organic, biodynamic, and regenerative. Like, what makes regenerative so different and unique?
I'm not a farmer. So from my limited understanding, right, we gotta really invite expert like Rick to talk about, in details. But from my understanding, really regenerative farming is like a big umbrella, right? Organic is more a certified process, right? And you have to reach certain criteria and measured by whoever can certify you, and then that give you a seal. And but regenerative farming is not just focused on those processes you have to go through, but more focused on the health of the soil, and that really make regenerative is right. You try to focus on that, like, let's say, one of the videos I want to show people is that we have the covering crop before we even plant anything is called Pacopa, I believe. And then to use that to cover the soil, and how you plant it, and how you use the walnut culture, the insects and all this to help to enrich the soil, and that really make it what is. And then I don't believe they actually cut down what is left in the field. They rather just keep it there. So this is the process of washing. We are washing the turmeric. You see, this is how you use the water. And then the other thing, this is after harvesting, because a lot of times the herbs, they win and lose with this step, right? How do you use good water? We use well water to wash you have to wash it before you cut it, and before you sterilize it, and before you dry it, and before you store it, and before you powder it, and all this. So this is just part of the process that we do. So I think that go to our social media. We have 3 parts. What is regenerative farming? Why it's important? What you can do to be a part of it. We have posted on our Facebook and Instagram, and you will have more information. If people are interested, we can send a startup or start list. So what you can do to help with the effort. But my understanding is regenerative farming, if you don't remember anything else, is really focused on the health of the soil.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. I think just having an awareness, and what you've done so beautifully is just to see what goes into that sort of farm to table notion, or in our case, farm to pharmacy. And then, ultimately your herbs, which is just amazing. And I think just to be aware that, this is what makes your like herbal practice so unique and so rich, not only just the tradition that it comes from, but just the mindfulness in which goes, what goes into step by step, like from incept,
Yes. So this is something I do want our people to understand, is that there are so many steps. Each step, we have people that really are into how to do it correctly. So we're not rushed, we're not forced, and we're just not eager to sell our product or things like that, but rather we do it right, because I believe if you do everything with pure intention, with knowledge, the knowledge has to be, you have depth of knowledge, you have width of knowledge, you have all this, then the final product, that's why our herbs work, right? I want you to understand the process with me, so then when you have that sip, it is effective, it has a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, and it's pure. So I want you to have that confidence with me, because this is not just what I do individually. We have our people, right? We have different farms of people. They've been doing this for generations. And then I'm very glad to see now people in the West begin to, the past 10 to 20 years, begin to really honor this tradition and enhance this tradition, enrich this tradition. So that's how, if we don't, my people, if we do not take care of the health of our soil, we're done for. This is that important. It is that important.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. I would like to, if I may, go through a few more photos, because I would like our listeners to really see also what you eat while you travel, because it's possible to still eat healthy and make
Yes,
good choices.
absolutely.
I think, unfortunately, most of us sometimes struggle a little bit while we travel. So I'd like to go through a few of those photos and just have you share a little bit about, how you continue to sort of follow the nourishing life tradition.
Yes, so this is a typical breakfast I have when I am there, right? I have really every ingredient is so fresh. It's out of, freshly out of the farms. And they have this beautiful gold yogurt I really enjoy, cooked carrots. And so Kaylin, and that's our breakfast lady. She makes this beautiful tortillas and what is that, the rice and beans called? Do we know? What is that called?
That is gallo pinto, I think, isn't it, Dr. Liu?
Gallo pinto. Thank you. And then I have eggs, and that's just my morning routine. I sit there and I hurry, and this is one of the fish. This is wild called, I believe is some red snapper, and how they cook that, and they use just fresh local ingredients. It's just delicious. It's just delicious. And I have all these restaurants that if you ever travel to Costa Rica, you just mention my name, and they will serve you well. And because I became friends with the chefs and with the local farmers, and mind you, I don't speak their language, and I can talk to them, for quite a long time about their food. And so I think once they know what I know, and then not to say that they all become my patients, but they try their utterly best to give me the best food ever. And I don't even know what they are. I just eat them. But everything is from that garden, they just go out and pick up things and cook and try to explain me. And I don't even pretend I understand. I say, oh my God, this is so good food. And then they're so happy. I'm so happy. Everybody is happy. So, and you see their stove, isn't that just a really kind of cool stove? And that they have their own, this wood, and they just really, it's just so, everything is so beautifully done. Everything is, and then the other thing is she put a sign up, cooked with love. I think that is so important, right? That is so important. So yeah, I do my research, I meet people, I introduce myself, or people who take me there introduce me to them, and then we begin to talk about health. And every morning I share with, this is another sunset. We sit there and talk about our poops together. That's really cool. How did you poop? Did you have a gorgeous poop today? So
I thought I would try to end on a very positive, sunsetty, beautiful vibe here on a Sunday afternoon.
So this is, but the message here really is that I want you all to know how much effort we put into to prepare those herbs, right? So to know that it's not just our herbs, it's everything that we do in the tradition that I follow. It's everything. There's nothing is random. Everything is well designed. Everything is carried out with utter it just details and with just preciseness. And the other thing is really is that with a lot of respect to nature, with a lot of connection with nature, with a lot of love and with a lot of joy. And it doesn't really matter what is out there. We have created this little safe boat, and we shall continue to do so, and just enjoy every moment of your life. That's, to me, that really what matters.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. About that spiritual journey, where is the sign-up sheet for that?
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool if we do something like that? Because we have a lot of our people. We have a quite strong group of people in Costa Rica. So if we want to do something like that, and we will meditate on it and talk more, and I don't see why not.
Dr. Liu, I'm going to end with maybe a little bit of a tough question. We have a couple of your faithful listeners who are celebrating birthdays, one today and one tomorrow. And I guess happy birthday to them. And we have actually a question from a participant, and I'm going to try to tie this together, which is, the question is about how to stay calm, just given, the current world events. And I want to tie that into like this beautiful adventure you just took us on, and the fact that we have, life goes on in some ways, right? There's these beautiful celebrations. Spring is around the corner, I always say. How do we keep perspective?
Well, I keep saying that we have entered a very interesting time, and we will continue to see disruptions and things we experience as pandemic and things we experience as war and all this. But people, I want you to focus on being on the boat with me. What I want you all to do is to focus on nature, focus on reconnect ourselves with nature, become a part of nature. And whatever comes our way, we will prepare as much as we can. We'll sail through that. And stay focused. And that's all, I think that's all need to be done, is that every action has reaction, right? Every action you take, there's consequences. So the world, when the world is not going to listen to us. But if we reconnect ourselves with nature, we can help in a very small way. That small way start with you, start with the connection you have with nature, start with discovery of oneself. That's you. And that's what we focus on. Do not lose sight of joy. Do not lose sight of compassion. Do not lose sight of wisdom and courage. That's what we will keep sailing. And meanwhile, have fun. Have love and have fun.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. May I ask, what was something exquisite that you tried that really stayed with you? any like edible flowers? I'm sort of imagining something.
Oh, wow, you know, their fish is really good, and their papaya is good, and their edible flowers is good, and their, you know, the ginger we have on our farm is just terrific, and it just, and then I also did quite a bit of adventure, which I will show you next time. But there's just a lot to talk about.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. Thank you.